These are the officers who reclaim what is rightfully yours.
We'll be knocking on the door and we will get the money.
They have more authority than the bailiffs.
I'm not going to be leaving here without the payment or goods.
And possess more powers than the police.
They're obstructing a High Court officer in the execution of his duty.
They are called in as a last resort.
High Court enforcement officer.
To evict squatters.
Hey, it's the last time you throw a punch at me, OK?
Clear illegal campsites.
We've had instructions from the council. They want to move.
And chase down debt.
He got quite threatening.
You've got minutes, not days.
You get frightened, you can't do the job.
Woo!
People don't like other people getting away with debts.
Using every tool at their disposal.
Don't start threatening people with bottles. Calm down!
And with the full backing of the law.
We've sent you a copy of the writ of possession. Did you get it?
This office in Essex is the control room for a group of the most powerful legal officials in the land.
Regarding the possession order for E1, what time would you like us to be on site tomorrow?
They are known as High Court enforcement officers. And every year they deal with over 5,000 court orders to chase down debts or to reclaim property.
All right, well, look, if there's any hassles, you got my number.
The company's most senior officer is Scott Hines. And with 12 years in the job, he's seen it all.
It takes a certain type of person to stand there and be shouted at. Once I had bottles of urine poured over me, people spitting at you, you know, like threatening you. Not everybody could do that. A lot of people would be intimidated and not want to do that. Like, that's what I enjoy doing.
If a call-out looks like it's going to turn nasty, Scott's usually the first through the door.
There could be up to 20, 30 squatters in there. No one lays hands on. Obviously, you're entitled to defend yourself if you need to.
Today's operation is to evict a group of squatters. For the past month, they have been living rent-free in a multi-million-pound office block. A High Court judge has given officers the powers to enter the building and take possession on behalf of the owner.
Open the door for me.
The squatters have changed the locks. But Scott has his own locksmith.
Open the door. Step out the way and let my guys come in, please. The stairs are there, yeah? So if you can get your team up. Yeah.
Scott's first concern is to stop the squatters from scattering through the building.
No wall. You don't go in the lift.
And of course, their health and safety.
What happens is I get people in the lift, then the lift breaks and they're stuck in the lift. And what I don't want is people in the lift and not getting out. So get your stuff out, please.
Lift has been shut down. Let's go, please.
Come on.
Many of these squatters are well known to the enforcers. Some travel from all over Europe to target empty properties across the capital. Most of them know the score and start packing to leave. But Scott spots a familiar face.
Where are you going now?
No, I need to do this off.
I remember you, OK? And I remember the last time you threw a punch at me and tried to jump on me, OK? You're not feeling your kettle up. You're going.
Can someone call the police? I want to tell
No, if you want to call the police, you call the police. There's no need for me to call the police. That's a High Court writ of possession. It gives me the power to ask you to leave, and if you won't leave, to escort you, OK? So I'm asking you to leave.
Yeah, but that
Are you going to leave?
I leave.
There you go.
It's a police only who can take me out, isn't it?
No, it isn't. It's myself as well.
An hour into the eviction and everything seems to be running smoothly. But then Scott's old sparring partner decides to take a stand.
I don't want to go around the building. I just want to go straight, put this outside the building where the bank gonna pick it
Your
up.
past history with me means that I don't help you, OK? You're going out that way. It's as simple as that, OK?
Listen, you stand English as me do, isn't it?
Sir, you're going that way. You're going that way, OK?
Call the fucking police, man. Fucking give me your phone.
Where are you going now? Calm yourself down. Don't you start throwing punches. Right, get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Out. Get him out. Get him out.
We're bringing that just out now, OK?
Leave my stuff out.
Hey, it's the last time you throw a punch at me or raise your fist to me, OK? It's the last time. Now, we'll get your stuff and we'll put it on the pavement, OK?
Man. I got my stuff.
You're getting your stuff. You're not going back in, OK?
Ya está Irra, tío, que ganas de buscar bronca también, tú, tío. Que ganas de buscar bronca, Irra, tío.
That's all he does, he raises his fists every single time.
There are an estimated 20,000 squatters active in the UK. Supporters argue that with so many empty properties, their cause is a just one and that they are unfairly victimised.
We are homeless now. How many millions cost that building? And how many people are on the street here? Maybe we don't have the right to do that, but why that huge property in the middle of the town completely empty? Why?
I believe that nowadays, like, if you don't want to be homeless, then you really shouldn't be homeless. Like, people can find jobs if they want to, but a lot of these people don't want to find jobs because they like this lifestyle. It's a choice. I don't understand how you'd want to live like this, but people do.
It's taken Scott and 20 enforcement officers over 2 hours to empty the building.
It is quite satisfying when I can walk back to the landlord and say, there's your building, which you now can have back. So it is nice to be that final nail in the coffin to get back property for somebody.
Scott's legal power to carry out evictions is handed down by the High Court. Every year, over 70,000 writs are issued nationally to reclaim property and collect debts worth tens of millions of pounds. But even faced with a court order, some people will go to any lengths to avoid paying. Sue Ketley is on her way to Wolverhampton to recover a debt of over £2,000.
There's no point in going in guns blazing. What you want to do is to be able to get inside, to sit down and talk to them and to resolve it amicably. There's no point in having an argument with them on the doorstep because it gets nobody anywhere.
The money is owed to a customer who apparently bought goods online from this car repair business. They never arrived. Sue has brought Officer Darren Crombie for backup.
Is he here today?
No, he's over at the West Brom bench.
Is he?
She has been trying to reclaim the money for several months, but the owner denies it has anything to do with him.
Excuse me, mate, please.
Sorry, I'm just on the phone.
Yeah, let me in with my colleague, please. Thank you.
Yeah, there's bombardment here, like.
With no sign of the owner, Sue does a quick piece of detective work.
VW workshop.
Yeah.
Invoices to pay.
Well, there's post here for them, there's
Yeah,
details for them.
I'm sorry, that's them.
Your gaffer does need to contact us and sort out a payment straight away. There's enough evidence here to confirm.
Sue now demands that she speak to the boss directly.
Hello. Yeah, I've been through all the paperwork that we've got here from our claimant, and I still believe that you are the VW workshop and you are the people that we're looking for.
Even when confronted with the evidence, the owner continues to deny that he owes a penny. He orders his staff not to cooperate.
I have to ask you to leave the premises.
You can't ask me to leave the premises, I'm afraid. I do have more powers of entry than a police officer who has to have a warrant. The High Court writ gives me right of entry, particularly on commercial premises.
The employees clearly couldn't care less about Sue's right of entry, and the mood is turning ugly.
Don't let the dogs out, sir.
Just let them out there.
Let them out where?
Lock the gate, right?
Hey? If you lock the gate, it's imprisonment, sir. And if you let the dogs loose, then we'll have to call the police. We're not leaving. You put the dogs on the lead, please, all three of them.
With the dogs circling outside, Sue and Darren are forced to take refuge.
What does he want us to do? He wants us to leave, so he's let the dogs loose so that we can't get out.
Can you take the dogs away, please? Go and put them back away.
There's no escape, so Sue calls the police.
They've closed the gates on us and locked them, and they've also set dogs loose. Can someone come and assist us? Ooh, it's all right, somebody's just kicking the door then.
You move the dogs, we'll open the door. Put the dogs away and we'll come out and we'll chuck you. We'll put the dogs away.
Woo! That's hit him on the face now. It's hit him on the face. It's hit him on the face now. That's enough. Right. No.
Just get out of the office.
No.
Out.
No, we're on the phone to the police now.
There's blood on me head now, he's kicked the door in
yeah,
the head.
That's assaulting.
Get out of the office. I don't care. Get out.
Just as things threaten to get out of hand, the police arrive and the men back off.
Because you have the powers of the warrant, it's different to being in that situation without it. Because I know that I can dial the police, I know that they will respond.
One of the men is arrested for assault.
If you let it frighten you, you wouldn't do it. If you let it get to you, you wouldn't do it. Although Darren did get injured, which is unfortunate.
You treat everybody with respect. You expect them to be courteous to you as you would to them. But some people, unfortunately, don't do that.
The man is taken into custody. He is later released without charge.
There's no real need for it if people will sit down and talk to you. And if it is the case that it's mistaken identity, fair enough. We just need to get to the bottom of it one way or the other, and they're obviously refusing to do it and won't communicate.
The debt of £2,000 is still being disputed. High Court enforcement officers are called in as a last resort when debtors consistently fail to pay up.
OK. All right, leave it with me, Scott. I'll just speak to the client.
But even with the full backing of the law, getting the money back is rarely straightforward. Scott is off to London's East End to collect a debt owed to the Royal Mail.
We've got a guy who owes nearly 10 grand. He did pay a little bit, but he hasn't paid anything since.
Because the man has failed to keep up with his payments, Scott has the power to seize his assets. In this case, it's the family car.
Just in case, like, he accuses us of damaging the car, so if I take pictures of any damage, what's already on it, you can see, like, there's some scratches here. So he can't accuse me of damaging the vehicle. I'm taking your car unless you pay what's outstanding.
How long time? How many days?
How many days? No, you've got minutes, not days.
The vehicle will be taken away and auctioned to raise the money to help pay off the debt.
Too late today, I'm afraid. You're over 10. You've got £10,000.
Every month 300 is paid.
Yeah, but he missed the payment, hasn't he? Have you got the keys to the car? Keys,
English,
please. Your English is good enough to understand what I'm saying, OK?
With the car being lifted, the owner makes one last attempt to persuade Scott to let him hang on to it.
One minute.
Sir,
Sir.
Whatever you're showing me isn't going to help you today.
Yeah. 1,000. Yeah, 1,000 is 1,000 last month.
Yeah, but what about this month? Let's forget about you paying a little bit. Can I have the keys to the vehicle, please? No, so you're not listening to a word I say. Can I have the key to the car, please?
What car key, please?
The key to that car. There's a lot of people who see me as a nasty, horrible person in the same lines as perhaps a traffic warden. Just the key to the car. Do you need to get anything out of the car? If it wasn't for me going out and literally enforcing these writs from the High Court, people would be getting away with murder, basically. Have you got your driving licence in now, insurance documents? Anything in that car, what you need? You know, I can't make him give me the keys, but the more the car makes at auction, the less he's going to be, like, owing, because this isn't going to clear his debt. It's going to go a fair way to clear his debt, you know? So if we can get an extra, say, £500 because we've got the keys, you know, it's £500 less he's got to pay. Do you have the key? Thank you.
Even though he's taking the family car, Scott shows no mercy.
The only person whose fault it is his own fault. And he was being allowed to pay what he could afford, you know, but he has to keep that. It's gone. We've spoken to him, we've asked him to pay, and it's the promises and the promises. So perhaps he needs to get his priorities straight and pay what he owes before he goes and buys a nice car.
The next day, the man paid £10,000 to clear the debt, and his car was returned. Steve Mitchell is the company's most dogged debt collector. He spends his life crisscrossing the country collecting money.
My name's Steve Mitchell, a recovery officer.
Today, with households owing record amounts and bankruptcy at an all-time high, Steve has never been busier.
I generally try to attempt to do 10 to 15 calls a day.
His first visit is to a business that owes over £2,000 to its suppliers.
This is an Indian restaurant.
But one of Steve's biggest challenges is tracking down the debtors in the first place.
We'll go around the back because they might have a back entrance.
The restaurant's failure to pay the debt is having a serious effect on its suppliers. Steve is determined to recover what is rightfully theirs.
He's got staff to pay, he's got business rates, he's got all of those bills to pay, and he's probably under a lot of pressure, both family-wise and business-wise, to get the money that he's owed.
Once we establish if the owner is still the owner, then I'll leave a warning notice if I don't get a response now. If we don't get a response, then I'll do a further attendance during opening hours. If they don't pay, then it will escalate to a removal. So I'll leave a warning notice.
If the restaurant owners ignore the warning, Steve will be back. Scott has been called up to Hertfordshire, where a group of caravans has taken up residence on an industrial estate. The owner wants them moved immediately. High Court enforcement officers deal with travellers and members of the gypsy community on an almost daily basis. And the relationship is not an easy one.
They've given possession today in the county court, so you need to leave this afternoon, please. No, it's going to have to be this afternoon, I'm afraid. OK, I'll leave it out here for you, yeah? I'll just put it underneath the shoe so it don't blow away.
Scott knows that the eviction notice is going to be ignored, so he needs to revert to Plan B.
They're not going to leave easy, are they? You've heard him just say we're not leaving today. So I'll go back now, I'll speak to the police. I'll speak to the client to see if they can allow me to have a tow truck here as well.
The office let the landowner know the situation.
We're quite familiar with a lot of the travellers in that area.
They agree to pay for a tow truck, but insist the travellers are off the site before the weekend.
They'll use any excuse they can sometimes to stay on, and one of them will be if dust comes in that they've got their children asleep.
The tow truck takes 2 hours to arrive, and then there's an even longer wait for the police to gather enough officers to assist.
You're at the location now, are you?
Yes, we're all ready to go.
I'll update the officers now, OK?
OK. We've got 5 travelling caravans. Yep. We've got a High Court writ of possession. OK. That gives me the power to evict them. We've also got a tow truck if they won't leave.
By the time everything is in place, Scott has been on site for almost 6 hours.
The police don't have any power to make them leave, so they rely on me to do my job. I need you to leave.
Why did you tell us that all day?
I've told you all day. I've told the ladies that as well. So I've got a tow truck here to tow your vans off if I need be, OK?
OK. You need to pack the stuff. I'm not packing stuff tonight. You are? I'm not.
I've asked you to leave since 1 o'clock today.
We will leave, mate.
No, you leave now.
No, we can't leave now because the kids have gone to bed.
No, right, OK, well, I will start towing vehicles off now, OK? It's as simple as that.
You do what you want, mate. Listen, if anyone gets hurt, it's your responsibility, right?
Scott needs to finish the eviction before nightfall, but with the travellers digging their heels in, that looks unlikely.
I'm not moving! I'm not moving!
If you're leaving people sitting on the caravans, they're obstructing a High Court officer in the execution of his duty.
No. And that is a criminal offence as well.
They're not going to get hurt, they're going to get nicked.
It's like a game of bluff. Who's going to make the next move and what move they make? It can help on how the eviction goes.
I will not move.
I'm not taking that, I'm taking this.
You're not taking it. You'll take it, then I've got no way moving this.
Yeah, then I'll come back for that next.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
Yes. And I will be here all night and I will do one at a time, OK?
There are now more than 30 people on site and neither side is prepared to back down.
Stop him getting in now.
We're under arrest for instructing a High Court enforcement officer.
Where's he gone?
One of the travellers' children is arrested and an already volatile situation is set to erupt.
Do you understand?
Come!
But Scott seizes on it as a chance to break the deadlock.
That's my nephew, he's only 13 years old.
Okay.
Can you get him back, please?
I'll speak to the sergeant once I see you getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
Okay? Sergeant, if he could, like, be de-arrested, they're all going to go.
Right.
Yeah? Thank you. Right, listen to me, okay? Use all hitch up and go. He's walking back away, okay?
Let him come up here and we'll hitch up.
The sergeant has just said, use all start getting ready to go. He's coming out of that police car.
When he's standing there beside me, that's my son, I'll hitch up. Right. I give him my word of that.
I will get your son back for you, but I need you to start. Don't shout at me.
I'm not shouting
yes,
to
you
me.
are shouting.
I'm not shouting. Don't shout at me, mate.
Right. Well, calm down.
Don't shout at me.
And I will get your son back. I just said that to you.
Jump in 2 seconds. I'm gone.
Ask the sergeant.
No more shouting. He shouted at me one, mate. Right.
After nearly 8 hours, Scott is finally close to success. But it's too late to save his evening.
I was meant to be going out tonight. I'll tell you what, my girlfriend, no wonder she don't like me anymore. So they're just wasting the last few little minutes, just like, because they can, and they're just winding us up the last little bit. And they'll all be gone in 2 minutes. You can see them all moving off now, look. I enjoy the satisfaction of when I leave that I've got vacant possession, that I've done what I should do. Everybody tells you they're not going to leave, everybody threatens you, and at the end of it you walk away, they've all left, and yeah, you've got a smile on your face.
Despite serving his final warning, Steve has still not heard from the owner of the Indian restaurant. So he's paying them another visit at opening time.
Evening. I'm from the High Court, an enforcement officer. I'm here to collect the balance on a High Court writ, £2,506. If I can't get the payment, I'm afraid I'm going to be removing goods.
The plan is to embarrass the owners in front of their customers, so they'll have no choice but to settle.
Evening, gents. Effectively, we'll take pots, pans, etc.
Steve has the power to strip everything, but what he really wants is hard cash.
How much is?
2,500, sir.
No, don't touch his...
Well, no, I can, I'm afraid. I'm going to be taking this in a moment. Don't want to affect your business. You're going to have customers coming in here. You don't want me moving stuff out, OK? So we need to get this G'd up a bit before you get a busy restaurant, OK?
Faced with the prospect of losing all his customers and then his entire stock, the owner comes up with at least some of the cash.
He hasn't got the full amount. He initially asked if we could pay tomorrow. I've not accepted that. He's going to pay £800 now by cash, with the remaining balance in full by next Friday. I'm satisfied that that's OK result. OK, the receipt's in there. OK, so that's great.
Steve's determination has paid off, but he'd rather people just paid up what they owe on time.
Just seem to bury their head in the sand and never think it's going to happen, but things like this have taken that long to get to. This is the final straw. The sort of buck stops here, and it's if you can't pay, then your goods will be going.
At Dagenham in Essex, there's an early morning break-in at a restaurant, but this one has the full backing of the law.
We can force entry if we can't gain access, and we've tried several times.
Scott's plan is to get in before the owners turn up and prevent their stock from being removed.
Perfect, mate, thank you.
He's helping a local businessman who supplied the restaurant with a fitted kitchen.
We can start whenever you want, yeah?
The man is owed £75,000, and after a 4-year legal battle, he's won the right to seize goods to help pay the debt.
I'll write an inventory of what it is being taken out today. So just like tables, chairs, and whatever else they take.
This is the first time we have come across such a bad experience. You know, normally people have difficulty in paying in 1 month, so they pay in 2 months, 3 months, something like that. We never came across somebody who took it not to pay for it.
It's taken so long to get to this point, the kitchen would fetch very little at auction.
this stuff's 4 years old. He isn't actually going to get a penny out of this. The only reason he's doing it is because he wants to teach the guy a lesson. And he's literally taking all this to scrap. And which I make him right, really. You know, he fitted it all out and he never got a penny, so he's taking it all back.
It's an hour before opening time, and the restaurant is nearly completely gutted. But the repossession has not gone unnoticed.
One of the guys has arrived. I'm not too sure who he is because he ain't spoke to me yet. He's now making phone calls, so we mostly get a few more people turn up soon, just to find out they haven't got a job anymore. So they're not going to be happy, are they?
High Court Enforcement Officer Scott Hines is overseeing the removal of goods from a restaurant that has run up a debt of £75,000 after failing to pay for a fitted kitchen.
Everything what's in that restaurant is being taken. They're taking absolutely everything.
Scott's been here a number of times before, and each time he's been given a different story.
I got told that it was a new owner and that the village spices no longer traded from this address, and that was over a year ago. And then you find things like this receipt, and the date is only 1 week old in the name that we're looking for. They are still here, they are still trading, and they're just trying to work a system and avoid paying their debt.
3 hours after the repossession began, the restaurant owner arrives, and he's in for a shock.
Hello. I'm a High Court Enforcement Officer.
Yeah.
Got a High Court writ which gives me the power to come into here and seize and remove all goods.
It's against who?
Mr. Mohammed Jamil trading as...
Where is Mohammed Jamil? This
Whatever
is not
court
Mr.
you like.
Jamil's property.
No.
The owner insists that the debt is the responsibility of the previous management. Scott explains that makes no difference.
When I came here back in 2012, I gave a notice of seizure to this address, okay? That all goods in this restaurant had been seized under a High Court writ. They wasn't allowed to be sold or removed.
Okay.
So if he sold them to you, he shouldn't have done that, because they wasn't his to sell, okay?
That's fine,
so
that's right.
the issue you've got is with Mr. Jamil, not with me.
Yeah.
I've got enough paperwork here.
The issue you got also is with Jamil, not with us.
But Scott is convinced that the receipt he found earlier proves he's dealing with the same people that ordered the kitchen.
So when I got this off the counter, when you had a service delivered here on the 4th of May...
Not us.
See, it was on your counter.
What was in our counter?
That. Addressed to the village spices. They took away used fat. Look, you've got it there. You had to pay £20.
This is lie. This is something you bring yourself here.
I brought it myself, yeah?
This is what we are. Look.
Like I'm a magician.
All the paperwork here.
Okay.
Listen.
I don't want to see your paperwork.
With the owner now accusing Scott of being a liar, a routine possession is threatening to spiral out of control.
This is getting to the stage now where literally there's too many of you and you're all shouting at me, and there is no reason for me to even be here any longer, okay?
Can I
I'm leaving.
You can't go. I will break your...
No, I'll tell you what, you don't start threatening me, okay?
You're threatening me.
No, I'm not,
You're
okay?
taking my stuff.
So nobody starts threatening me. Get out of my way, please.
You're taking my stuff without telling me who you are.
Get out of my way now.
I need to verify this. Where is my stuff going?
He needs to know. He needs to know where the goods are.
Get out of my way. It's nothing to do with you. Get
I'm
out of
trying to
my
help
way.
my mate here,
Well, help
yeah?
him with the legal process and do it properly. Don't start threatening me and telling me you're going to break my neck. He just said he's going to break my neck.
Right, so
Okay?
why are you threatening me then?
I'm not threatening you, but I don't like people like threatening me that they're going to break my neck.
The restaurant owner calls the police. Scott shows the receipt that backs up his belief that it's the current owners who ordered the kitchen.
I've just seen some paperwork where you had a collection of dirty oil from this premises last month, I believe it was. I've just seen the paperwork.
No, I've seen it as well. It's not last month. It's last year.
No, it's this year. 2014 is the date.
No.
I've just seen it. 2014.
If it's 2014, then maybe he bring it with himself from, because we didn't.
Well, it's an invoice, okay? Well, so if you listen to me, I'm trying to explain to you, okay? At the moment, as far as I'm concerned, everything's been done the way it should be done.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right?
Cheers,
No
guys.
problem. Take care now.
No, the oil doesn't come down.
The owner continues to insist the debt has nothing to do with him.
I have the legal documents that I am the new occupier. They should have given me time to go to court or sort out the matter. They shouldn't just close down my restaurant.
Mr. Khan has taken no legal action against the people he says sold him the kitchen. One of the enforcers' biggest challenges is dealing with political activists who take over empty properties.
You want them gone by 16:30 hours. You've actually given them till 4:30 to get off, haven't you?
They're often well-educated, highly organised and know their rights.
Are you breaking the law?
No, the squad section 144 is there's A and B. A is for commercial and B is for pubs, I think so.
Once they've occupied a building, it's illegal for a landlord to evict them, and that's where the enforcers are needed. Steve is on his way to Brighton. The South Coast is a magnet for some of Britain's most radical squatters.
It is nothing like living for free or living easy, yet we'll remain doing so because we believe in it.
I don't see why, just because you're wealthy, you can buy up a load of space and leave it to be derelict when people are on the street.
A group of activists are occupying this shop, and Steve's job is to shift them.
How many of you in there? 20. Are you occupying just this building or along over the roof? Just this one, yeah? Have you got dogs in
But
there?
he has a problem. At this stage in proceedings, the law is firmly on the side of the occupants.
And this is the squatters' notice that they print off the internet. Take notice that we live in this property, it is our home and we intend to stay here. Any attempt to enter these premises without our permission, therefore, is a criminal offence. I don't have any legal authority to enter the premises. No one does. Even the owner's not allowed in there, the owner's not allowed to cut off electric, cut off gas, due to their human rights.
Steve issues what is known as an interim writ of possession, which gives the squatters notice that the owner is taking them to court.
Putting up the claim forms on the doors, prominent positions. Can't say they haven't been served.
Posting the papers is the start of the legal process. It could be several weeks before the enforcers can return and reclaim the property.
They get time to appeal, make their application, their defence as to why they believe that they're legally entitled to be in someone else's building. They're not going to win it. But it will give them a period of time living there rent-free.
In spite of the legal action, the squatters remain defiant.
Are you going to be moving out after the hearing once you've lost? If you lose, which is pretty odds on, I would have thought.
We've won before.
Have you? Yeah. All right. Thanks very much. Cheers. They're all probably from middle-class backgrounds, had a good education, and just squandered it all, sitting in a disused building, kicking up a stink about God knows what. Pretty pathetic, really.
The fallout from the recession continues to affect people from all walks of life. In London's West End, an eviction notice has been served on a tenant occupying a £500 a week flat. His rent is in arrears, and he's already been given a final warning.
This is the last stage in a long line of different enforcement proceedings. There's been lots of requests and demands which have all been ignored, and today is the final day. And when I leave, the job is finished. Quite an affluent area. It's not cheap to pay rent here. The fact is, he hasn't paid rent, so that's why I am here. I've got a key as well, which is quite handy. Hello?
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I've got a High Court writ of possession. That gives me the power to ask you to leave and make you leave if you won't leave.
Where would you like for me to go? To sit on the corner outside? I mean, come on.
We're leaving within half an hour at the most. Do you want to start changing the locks? Because I know you're busy. This guy's going to start changing your locks. You need to start packing,
change all
please.
the locks you want. I mean, but I need a little bit more than 5 minutes to decide.
I've just said an hour, haven't I?
Well, an hour would be nice. Please go and come back in an hour.
I'm not going. I'm going to stand here now.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, OK.
I wasn't told that this was going to happen today. I wouldn't be here. I would have spent my weekend moving out of here in my own pace, not listening to the drill, you know, and door being, you know, changed. I mean, it's just ridiculous. There's not a single bit of dignity.
They bring it upon themselves. They've had many, many weeks to find somewhere else to live. They've not bothered. They've just ignored it and buried their head in the sand.
The tenant came from the States to work in the city, but fell victim to the recession.
I was caught in a cost-cutting exercise, so I am in between jobs now. It's sort of, falling from 30,000 feet, to basically hitting the ground. And so it all starts to just catch up after, 6 months, then a year, and looking for work and everything else. And it just all starts to catch up to you. And it's just all downhill from there, it's just ridiculous.
He wants to live in a nice home and to have all nice things, but if you can't afford them, then if your life does change, you need to change with that. Right, so we need to hurry up a little bit, I'm afraid. Do you know what day you'll be coming back to get the rest of your belongings?
I didn't know when you were coming, so...
No, okay.
I can't, I mean...
Right, it was just a question.
If I had my way, I would...
Still be here, not paying rent.
I mean, I know he is, executioner. He has a job to do, and that's fine. I get it. He's the messenger. You don't shoot the messenger, they always say.
We need to hurry up, please, sir.
Man, I don't have anywhere to go. I mean, so I'm gonna go and sit on the street, and it's not very nice.
We'll be coming back in anyway. We will be coming back. I'll come with you. We'll get the rest of your stuff, all right?
So the fact of the matter is, it's dealing with something that's disgusting in a pleasant way, yes? You're helping someone jump out the gutter into the sewer, for want of a better description.
People will look and think, oh yeah, I'm a nasty person, haven't got a heart, and what I do is wrong. But if they was owed thousands of pounds and the court has ordered that they're entitled to get that money back or to make somebody leave, then somebody needs to go and do that. That's what my job's all about.
He is not a bad person in any shape or form. If it can happen to him, it can happen to anyone.
Down in Brighton, time has run out for the squatters. A High Court judge has ruled that they can now be evicted. There is always the chance that the squatters will put up a fight, so Scott's been called in to run the eviction.
I've got to pay, ain't I? Get on the lock. That's not open. All right, go on, Jack. High Court Enforcement Officer, you've been evicted. Open the door. Take go.
The occupants show no sign of surrendering quietly, with one of them seemingly willing to risk physical injury. Once the enforcers are through the door, there's no further resistance.
Once you're inside the building, then they've basically lost their squat. Are we nearly ready? Take that as a no. What a complete and utter dump. Who would want to sleep here? Don't know. Beyond me.
You are told that if you put the hard work in when you're a young man or a young woman, you can be whatever you want to be. They teach you pipe dreams that you can be a rock star, that you can be a millionaire. And that's not the case. You are literally put into your little slot, and that's where you shall remain.
It's some anarchist paraphernalia. It's time to take back the streets by opening up the cracks in the system and destroying the apparatus of oppression wherever we find it.
We're not destroying anything, we're not abusing the building, we're not taking drugs in the building, we're simply using a space which is completely derelict and unused to live in and to live our own way, and we don't want any interference with that, to be left alone rather than being evicted.
Well, I don't agree with their beliefs whatsoever. Right, that's it, yeah? Got everything you need? I don't think it's fair, the amount of money what they will cause the landowner, property owner to actually incur, because it would cost quite a lot of money to get these people evicted. Jacket there, in case you've got to go for a job interview or anything? Oh, court appearance, yeah. Everyone's gone, you're the last person here. They're entitled to what they believe, and in a way, they actually give me a job and give me work.
Since the squatters were evicted, the building has been secured, cleaned up and refitted. It's now back in business. Not all the enforcers' evictions are so straightforward. In London, Steve and Scott have been called in to break bad news to some bewildered tenants.
Good morning. Got High Court writ of possession. Means you're being evicted this morning. Your landlord has been declared bankrupt.
Okay.
And he's losing his property. So you need to pack your goods and you need to leave, please.
Today?
Now.
The occupants are given an hour to pack their bags. They will have to pick up the rest of their possessions at a later date.
Well, it's short notice, but unfortunately there has been correspondence advising of what's going to happen. So whether or not your landlord's told you. An order from court is in black and white on a piece of paper. My job is to go and enforce the writ, what I've been given.
The tenants are students who moved from Bangladesh to study law. They had no idea their landlord's position had put their home at risk, and they've continued to pay him £1,250 a month.
This is really upsetting. 1 hour even is not enough. Even 1 day is not enough to pack everything up. It's not fair. What kind of civilized country it is, I don't know.
How long have you lived here?
5 years.
Scott has now developed his own coping mechanism when dealing with tricky situations like this.
If I felt sorry for them, then it'd be hard to do my job. I do sympathise and understand that they're going to have nowhere to stay tonight. But you still give them respect and you still do the job properly. You know, like you give them time to pack their belongings and you try to help the best you can. There's only so much I can do.
I mean, I can argue with them, but I don't want to argue because, you know, we need to respect the court, what the court orders. Like, I'm not sure whether is there any law to force someone else to move away from house that without notifying them, without informing them.
This piece of paper gives me the power to do that. I could make you leave immediately, but I'm not. I'm standing here patiently, letting you pack enough personal belongings. I can't give you any further time because that's not my job.
With due respect with court and everything. But I'm asking you if there is anything mentioned that we have to live within an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 days.
I'm not going to stand here for 5 days.
Is it common sense that you going somewhere else and then pushing them, kicking them out in an hour?
I haven't pushed or kicked you anywhere.
It's kind of, as you're forcing.
Kind of. No, I haven't. I stood there and spoke to you very calmly and very
I
politely.
understand, you're a very good gentleman.
Yeah. Right, thank you. But you are testing my patience now. Get your stuff packed and leave, please, OK? It's as simple as that. I'm not going to argue with you any longer because you're never going to win this argument. There's no point in letting these people think that they've got even a tiny chance of being able to stay there for one more day like they would like. You know, like, give me 2 days and I will go, there won't be no trouble. The fact is, they have to leave.
Look at these guys now, kind of pushing people out.
No, I'm gently ushering you to the door. Now you're at the door.
Now you're at the door, yeah?
Yep, that's it.
Thank you very much.
Pardon?
That's horrible, man.
Mind your fingers. Done.
Right,
thank you.
This job, pushing people, making people suffer, with due respect with court, I think this is rough justice, I should say.
If you started feeling too sorry for these people, then you most probably would want to walk away. You wouldn't want to go and work the next day. You're there to do a job, and you can't become too involved, otherwise I can imagine you wouldn't be doing this for too long.
actually be on site tomorrow when we're carrying out the eviction?
From this office in Essex, writs for debt recovery, repossessions and evictions are processed, risk assessed and distributed to operatives in the field.
We've arranged for guys from a climbing team that will meet you there at 8 o'clock as well.
They're known as High Court Enforcement Officers. All of their cases require careful planning.
Okay, they've taken off the tiles.
And they're called in when all else has failed.
I'm there to finish this job, to take back possession or to take goods or to collect payment. I'm there, they've had all their different chances, and when I leave, the job is finished.
Scott Hines is the company's longest serving officer. If a job is particularly tough, then Scott is the man to call. His task today is the eviction of a council property in South London.
Like, we've got a building here, it's single storey, it's all welded up, so the only access is the way the squatters are getting in, which is through a hole in the roof at the back.
The vacant building is an easy target for squatters, and it's been an ongoing battle to keep them out.
Bad in here today.
They're entering an environment that is dark, dirty, and could well be dangerous.
Watch for needles and everything, man. Yeah, Lee. Let's all stick together in here.
The officers have no idea how many squatters there are, or how they will react when they're told to leave.
Good morning. Got a writ of possession. You've been evicted this morning.
The early morning raid catches the first occupants unaware.
You realise you have to leave this morning, yes? Do you understand what I'm saying?
But as officers move through the maze of rooms, they lose the element of surprise.
Pack your bags and leave, please. But what you don't need, is you shouting and starting raising your hands to people, OK? Let's get out of here. He's got a big knife there as well, yeah? Beside his bed, he's got a knife. Don't go back in there, please. We'll have sort of like people shouting, making threats, picking up lumps of wood, metal bars, whatever they can find. And like, where a lot of these people are scared for their own safety, they'll have weapons beside their bed, like literally maybe not to use against us, but against other people coming to rob them. So, as I say, he's got a knife beside his bed. So we'll leave him to calm down a little bit before we go back in there. Hopefully the knife will disappear.
The discovery of a weapon means the enforcers have to be extra vigilant.
How many you got? 3?
2 in there.
4 now, yeah? Make sure no one goes through the roof for me. Yeah. Really, yeah? You've been evicted this morning, yeah?
The rest of the eviction passes off smoothly. And in all, a total of 9 squatters are removed.
There's a door open down there where you can see the light.
Are you working in here today?
Squatting in a vacant commercial property is not a criminal offence, so all the occupants are free to leave. Once the building is clear, Scott and his team can explore the full extent of the damage.
Yeah, it stinks in here. It stinks.
Repossessing illegally occupied buildings and the cost of clearing them up runs into millions of pounds a year.
Yeah, but if you go and look in that toilet, then it's unbelievable.
And when the property belongs to the council like this one, it's the taxpayer that foots the bill.
Yeah, I haven't been in a lot worse than this for a long time. You get a different class of squatter. This is like the lower class, let's say, because they're prepared to live in absolute squalor.
Scott does a last tour of the grounds and comes across one unwelcome guest who has slept through it all.
Morning. Well, I caught enforcement officers. Everyone's being evicted from inside here today. This little bit of the land as well, really, I'm afraid. Okay? So just wake yourself up when you're ready, if you can get going for me. Thank you.
It's taken less than 20 minutes to clear out the squatters, but there is no guarantee that this will be Scott's last visit.
Well, it's the second time I've evicted this building. There's a chance that, like, literally they'll know it's empty and they will come back to look and see if there's any security preventing them from coming back again.
The enforcer's legal authority is handed down by the High Court. Every year, over 70,000 writs are issued nationally. Their powers include the right to break into property and reclaim possessions.
They haven't paid the rent on the shop, so obviously the landlord wants the shop back.
They provide a lifeline for those who have tried everything to get back what is rightfully theirs.
All right. I'm Dave.
Hi, Dave.
So it's your fault we've got up this early.
Oh, he's a smart one. He cleared the whole thing.
Since when? When was the last time you were in here?
Sunday.
Yeah? You haven't messed about, has it?
Cleared everything.
Leonora and her elderly mother let out the shop in Leeds to a family friend. But then it all turned sour.
It's been about a year of intense trying to get the rent back and forth. Since last June, he owed over 4,500. And then he was paying on and off in between that, and consistently he wasn't paying on time. So over a year it's been consistently bad.
Leonora had hoped that the enforcers could seize the contents of the shop, which could be sold off to raise the money she's owed. But that hasn't worked out.
She's come in on a weekend and warned him that if he doesn't pay the rent, the bailiffs are going to come. But he's obviously just in the bunk before we've turned up. Took all his stock away.
Yeah.
So if you can just sign there, please, and then print your name there, that'll be cool.
The good news is that Leonora now has her shop back, if not her faith in human nature.
I feel like he's betrayed the whole family, you know, not just me, but my mom especially, who's 78, you know, someone who's that mature that you kind of you're trying to get one over. He was always trying to get one over, and, you know, it's really disappointing to see that.
Steve Mitchell is the company's most dogged debt collector, always determined to reclaim his clients' money.
In regards to an amount owing of 51,000. Yes.
Tracking down people with outstanding writs is a job in itself. We travel all over the country. We use all the databases that we can use via the office and neighbouring inquiries, and effectively at the end of the day we do find them.
Today he's on his way to a second-hand car dealer in Salisbury to collect a balance on a debt of £9,000. If he doesn't get the cash, Steve is going to take all the vehicles. At least that was the plan.
Huge build-up of post in there. So he's cleared off.
On his last visit, Steve could have seized all the dealer's vehicles for auction and settled the debt.
All the cars that were previously here, there were up to 10 odd cars here.
Instead, he gave him one last chance to pay.
He's moved them all onto another site somewhere, but he's left that. If we take it, if it costs £100-something to take it, plus auctioneer fees, if it goes for 800-900 quid, might make 500 quid on it. That's about it. Should have taken them when I got here first time.
Oh, hi, Scott. How are you? Okay, so you've got it all in hand, Scott, yeah?
It's estimated that today one person is declared insolvent or bankrupt every 5 minutes. And that means enforcement officers are busier than ever. In East London, Scott's first call of the day is on a shopkeeper who's run up a utility bill of over £6,000.
They agreed to pay the balance by a certain date. That date's passed. They have paid some, but they've not paid the full amount. So we're going in there today to collect the full amount. Obviously, you know why I'm here. You can either pay this now, or there's going to be a lorry here, and then you're going to get even more fees.
How can I pay this amount in one go right now, man? Are you having a laugh, man?
You have to pay it today. You have to pay it now, or I'm going to remove your stock.
Are you not taking the piss, man?
Are you going to pay or not?
I will fucking pay it, yeah?
Right, okay. What I don't want you doing is locking the door, please.
I was paying
right,
it,
listen.
I was paying
right,
it.
now listen to me now, okay?
You
no,
listen to
no,
me as well,
you don't shout at me, and you don't pull the shutters down on me. Simple as that, because now you're falsely imprisoning me, and I will call the police, okay? Don't pull the shutters down on me. Simple as that. Don't pull them down on me. Don't don't pull the shutters down on me,
So why
please.
are you gonna take my shit
Okay?
off me when I've
Because you owe
already paid?
money.
Because
Get the
I've
shutters
fucking-
up now, please, before I call the police. They don't go down no further. Okay? Get the shutters up, please. Simple as that. I'll get the police and I'll get a lorry, okay? Your debt will get even bigger now.
Daylight robbery.
High Court Enforcement Officer Scott Hines has travelled to East London to recover a debt from a shopkeeper. But it's the shopkeeper who is now holding Scott prisoner.
Can I have the police here, please? I've been locked into the shop and the shutters have been pulled down and the guy's getting a little bit aggressive and upset as well. Stop shouting at me and stop swearing at me, okay? So I can understand he's upset and everything else, but I don't like being locked in the shop and I don't like it when it gets this aggressive. Right. The only person who has made this happen the way it is today is yourself by not paying when you was meant to have paid. My office have phoned you a few times. You haven't. You was told to pay and you haven't.
You understand? I've paid.
Are you going to get these funds? Are you going to pay them?
Get the money.
Right. Right, so I'll give you 5 minutes to do that, but at the moment, I want you to get those shutters up, please. Sometimes you can be scared, but you can't show that. You have to make sure that you're always in control. Why don't you just pull the shutters up for me?
The police have confirmed they're on their way, but the shopkeeper's behaviour is becoming increasingly unpredictable.
I'm not taking your pennies. Because I'm not taking them. It's a simple. That's not money. I'm not standing here counting out pennies. Right, okay. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do then, yeah?
Money's money, bro.
I'll tell you what I'll do then, okay?
Money, bro.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
Bro?
I'll start counting those pennies and I'll charge you £200 plus VAT for every hour.
You already done it.
Right.
Look! Look! You've already done it, lad! Don't. Because I will you the lot up. Ah! Bruv. Honestly, bruv. What? All of these, rather than giving it to you, I will put it up your.
Don't start threatening people with bottles, okay? Calm down. Don't start pushing me, okay?
I'll push you anymore.
No, you won't push me anymore. It's as simple as that. Don't.
Why you filming me, bruv?
Calm yourself down. Calm yourself down and start.
Why are you filming me?
Calm yourself down.
Don't
push me anymore, okay?
With the situation threatening to turn really ugly, help arrives just in time.
Hello? Hello? Is that the police, yeah? Hello, mate. I'm an High Court Enforcement Officer. I'm trying to enforce a writ. He's pulled the shutters down inside. He won't open them. Do you want to open the shutters for me, please? Because the police want to speak to you.
Your money out. Alright, so I need this to be sorted.
All right. Thanks for coming.
Alright.
Alright. Why have you closed the shutters?
Because they're gonna try and take my property.
We've got here, the shutters are down, this man's locked inside your...
If someone walks into your house and says he's gonna take out of your house,
Listen to me.
what are you gonna do?
Listen to me.
Oh, but no, so they can take it.
You're not supposed to lock him in, though, do you?
You could be arrested right now, straight away from what I've seen. Why don't you... Who are you calling... Who do you think you're talking to now? Eh?
Okay, are you gonna arrest me?
Huh?
Are you gonna arrest
I
me?
don't want to have to arrest you.
Are you gonna
If
arrest
that's
me?
what's going to have to be, then that will have to be.
If you get yourself arrested, you're not in a position to pay this debt, which means I'm going to have to take all your stock.
Look, I make £10 pack, yeah? How the am I gonna pay it?
Let's start getting a resolution to this.
Yeah.
You need to calm down, and we're not going to get anything resolved while you're standing there swearing, throwing insults. Listen, where are you going?
I'm trying to pay. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to.
Faced with the prospect of having his stock taken, the shopkeeper starts to pull together the cash.
So you've given me, I ain't taking it in that, get him to transfer it.
Fucking take it, bro. You know what I mean? Money is money. Money is money, brother. Yeah?
Right, so you're giving me 1,000.
This is an English saying, brother. Money is money.
You're giving me 1,010.
Right. Look,
so you're getting yourself all upset again.
£527.
I don't want the pennies.
Money! Money is money, lad!
See how you're getting yourself all upset?
Money!
Again? I think I've got a good job, you know. Well, I enjoy my job, so not everybody could do my job.
It's in their blood. Look, it's in their blood. You know what I mean? That's why he's doing this job.
I do have to count it. I couldn't go and sit in an office each day and push like a keyboard and work in front of a computer.
2 hours after being threatened, abused and then imprisoned, Scott leaves with the £4,000 required to settle the debt.
I knew that he was going to pay once he had calmed down and once he had seen sense. He'd rather pay the outstanding balance than lose all his stock.
Despite his ordeal, Scott decides not to press charges.
Thanks a lot, OK. Thank you.
For him, it's all in a day's work.
Thank you. People call, not just me, people like me doing my job, loads and loads of different names, all nasty names, you know, get called different names every single day, get threatened, everything else. But, you know, if it wasn't me doing this, it'd be somebody else.
It's 5 a.m. in Maidstone, and Steve's up early chasing after more cars. He's hunting a vehicle belonging to a debtor who's fallen behind with their repayments. But like his trip to the car dealer in Salisbury, he's not having much luck.
It's not here. Bollocks. We'll have a little poodle around. It's quite a large estate. Might start parking somewhere else.
Steve's been around long enough to know it's too early to give up.
They'll try and hide the vehicle if they know that we're looking for it. Hold on. The defendant's just pulled up in the vehicle. So we're going to shoot round the block and then we're going to go and block it in. Yep, it is here.
Now he's located the vehicle, Steve calls in the tow truck and goes to inform the debtor.
Hello, sir. Here from the High Court. I met you before previously. Today the vehicle was uplifted. It is going to be taken unless you can arrange payment by close of business today. And I'm going to need the keys as well. Well, someone pulled up in it earlier this morning at 7 o'clock. It wasn't here at 5 to 7 and someone pulled up at 7 o'clock, so there are keys in the house. But it's up to you. If you want to come and collect the stuff now, otherwise you can arrange it later date. It's up to you. Okay then, no problem. Thank you. This is the end of the line today in regards to this vehicle. They've had 2 years of this debt outstanding. Just ignoring it, it's not going to go away. It will end up, we'll be knocking on the door and we will get the money.
The very nature of their work means that the enforcers often have to deal with the most vulnerable members of society, and that makes their job even harder.
Hello, madam. Hello. Oh, there you go. Hi, I'm a High Court enforcement officer. Got a High Court writ of possession. This means you have to vacate the premises this morning for me, please.
Yeah, but I have nowhere to go.
I'm not going to be rude to you, but I'm going to be honest. That's not my problem. Should we go in and talk about it, madam, rather than standing on your doorstep?
Scott's in North London dealing with a tenant who hasn't been paying her rent.
I was advised legally to stay here until I had the bailiff.
Right, well then, not a bailiff, but a High Court enforcement officer stood here now. And they must have advised you as well that when that happened, you had to leave. Plus the fact your landlord has told you what's happening as well. So we're going to go around and around in circles. We're going to get to the same end result, and that is pack your goods and leave, please.
Private tenants who cannot afford their rent are often advised to wait for eviction. They receive a formal notice, and that means the council are legally required to rehouse them.
I've got to leave, and I'm just scared because I have nowhere to go, and this is not what the council said what would happen. Thankfully, I have a recovery centre to go to, which is because I'm ill at the moment, so I can actually go to the NHS and ask for help. But I don't know where I'm going to go today. I had a breakdown, which has meant that I have to be on medication most of the time. So it's all sort of falling apart because I have nothing left. I didn't think it would happen to me because I was so on top of things.
If you take that as well, like that's saying that I've been forced to wreck today, so that might help you get somewhere else to stay. Okay? There isn't any point in beating around the bush and not telling these people how it is. You know, I've got a court order to take back possession of this property. They're there and they shouldn't be because the court has ordered that. So it's not me saying that they shouldn't be there. A judge has made that decision.
Christine's fate is sealed. She has just enough time to pack an overnight bag.
What about your stuff in the bathroom, toothbrush and stuff? Have you managed to get that?
The landlord agrees to look after Christine's possessions while she seeks emergency accommodation.
As much as I can help them, I always do. But sometimes it just goes beyond that. At the end of the day, the mortgage company won't wait. They want their payments, and we use the rent from here to pay them.
These jobs aren't uncommon for Scott, and he's developed his own way of coping.
I just try to not even listen if I can help it, because I'll be going home and every night I'd be sitting indoors thinking I've just literally made somebody homeless, and you know, and you can't keep on worrying about what you're doing. Whether it's fair, whether I feel like what I'm doing is right or wrong, doesn't come into it.
In his pursuit to recover debt, Steve drives over 1,000 miles a week. His next job is in Folkestone, where the owner of an Italian restaurant owes nearly £2,500 for an unpaid utility bill.
They had a payment arrangement, no payment's been made. Only the office have been trying to call, been no contact whatsoever.
The money has been outstanding for over 2 years. If the owner fails to pay, Steve is authorised to take goods from the kitchen to cover the debt.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Here to execute High Court writ. You can see this is a removal attendance.
I can give you all the money now. I can give you half.
Half?
It's no point telling you I can.
Yeah.
Then I give you the check and it will bounce.
He's going to pay half of it, so I'm quite happy considering the stock is only wine.
The restaurant's been struggling to make ends meet since the recession.
People before, they used to have a meal. After the meal, have a coffee, a brandy, a cigarette, another bottle of wine and so on. So they're taking for good.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you take a payment for me, please?
Now they only come in, eat quickly, and they go.
We're going to try for 1339.
Because our customers that we used to see at least once a month, we see them once every 6 months, every year. You know, nobody kind of parties anymore because I can understand, they haven't got any money.
In regards to the remaining, will you be able to clear that in 4 weeks, or is there any...
If I can, I would.
Yeah, if I leave you my number on the back,
I'll give you a call.
If you give me a call, yeah? All right then, thank you very much, cheers, bye-bye. Times are hard. I do feel sorry for these small businesses. He was more than reasonable and polite with me. He's made a payment, he's paid half of it, so I'll speak to him again in a month's time.
I will pay it, that's for sure. But I got to eat. Today I got to eat.
He's aware of what he can lose, which is all of his stock, which would have cost him more than what he's going to fetch at auction.
It's a windy morning on the South Downs. High Court Enforcement Officer Scott Hines has arrived with a writ. There are an estimated 100,000 members of the travelling community in the UK. Across the country, local authorities provide them with special sites where they are legally entitled to stay. This isn't one of them. The enforcers are called in most weeks by Brighton Council to move this group on. Both sides know each other only too well.
They understand that somebody's got to do this job, but a lot of them, they don't like us.
Got High Court writ of possession.
So you need to leave this afternoon, please. Anybody else in any other caravans? Okay, thank you. You can treat them with as much respect as possibly you can, but they still see us as like the nasty person who's making them leave and they've got nowhere else to go. Morning.
Go away. Sure, I'll go to sleep. Go away.
No, don't say go away and...
Go to sleep. Fuck off, mate.
No, don't swear at me.
Bed. Fuck off, mate.
Right, just listen to me, okay?
Go away. Go
just
away.
listen to me.
Minutes. I'll give me 10 minutes, mate. Go away, please.
So much for being friendly today.
For the travellers, the eviction order is all part of a pattern of persecution.
This is a nightmare for everyone involved. We're not in anyone's way. There's no neighbours anywhere. We're living on a piece of disused land. Can't even see houses from round here.
Well, it can't be great, like today, for instance, that they've got soaking wet. So I can sympathise a little bit. But then they were told a few days ago that they had to leave. And they knew this day was coming and they knew they had to leave today.
I think they probably think we're just a bunch of dropouts, really.
Are you?
No.
You don't live this lifestyle unless you choose to. Like, there's no way like you do this out of anything apart from your own personal choice and your own personal beliefs. They know they're going to be evicted, and that's just part of what happens. Because they're opted out of society. It's not a lifestyle I would choose.
People might not like what they see, but it's still our home.
The travellers seem resigned to their fate and leave without a fuss.
Totally understand everyone's point of view. You know, we're travellers, we live on wheels.
But all this comes at a price. Every eviction costs the local taxpayers thousands of pounds, and the number has doubled over the past 2 years. It's not just travellers that keep the enforcers busy. Landlord evictions are also on the rise.
We're at the eviction. OK then, Jenny, leave it with me. I'll call the locksmith now. Thank you.
There are currently around 350 evictions a day, with the toughest cases being handled by High Court enforcement officers. Over in Margate, relations between a landlord and tenant have broken down. As a last resort, enforcer John Homewood has been called in with a repossession order.
Are you going to wait just around the corner here? Because she won't open the door to you, will she?
The tenant hasn't paid any rent for quite a while. She's obviously refused to get out by the date she's supposed to be out. And so we've had to take the final steps and actually evict her, unfortunately.
What's going to happen today is you're going to get what you can leave with this morning. You'll come back and make an arrangement with Mr. Tran, who's outside now, to get your stuff. But this morning, if you leave with what you can take out, OK, that's the way it happens, all right? So if you get your children ready, I'll give you time to do that.
What's more upsetting is because he knows I'm 5 months pregnant.
Yeah, sure.
And the children have got to go to school.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Get the boys to school, and then we'll deal with it afterwards. All right. All right.
This was annoying. You know, he knows.
What we don't want to do today is to have a shouting match or anybody get into arguments. Do you know what I mean?
When we gave it to her, it was in nice condition. There was no rubbish, and it was in a good state. And she's unfortunately let it get into a bit of a state of disrepair, and we've got quite a job on our hands to get it fixed up now.
The tension between the landlord and the tenants is running high, and John's caught in the middle.
I could easily go out and knock his head off, but he ain't going to get me nowhere, so there's no point.
You swear to me he's not allowed to touch any of my stuff.
I'm sure he's got no interest in doing that anyway.
I don't trust him after, you know, knowing, you know, the time that we've got to leave.
He will allow you to come back and move yourself out. If you sort the boys out, you get yourself dressed and grab what you think you'll need this morning.
It's been one thing after the other. Promised there'd be money coming, promising she'd fix the house, promising she'd clean the house, promising she'd be out of the house on the time she said, and because she hasn't, she pushed us right to the limit, really, I'm afraid.
Natalie says that losing her home is largely down to circumstances beyond her control.
I owe him rent because the council wasn't actually paying the rent, so which then put us into rent arrears. That's what's led to this. The benefit system is absolutely diabolical. They don't give you pre-warning of when they're going to stop your benefits, or they just do it and, you know, you're left to face the consequences. But obviously, you know, it's basically my fault, I suppose. You know, I've just got to try and keep calm because, obviously, of the unborn child.
To put somebody pregnant on the street, I wouldn't do that to the worst enemy. Just going to put their necessities in the car, take them over to mine, and then I'm going to take Ross and Natalie down to the council, sort out down there, and see what happens. And if necessary, they'll have to stay with me for a couple of days until the council sorts something out or somebody sorts something out.
Difficult situation. The lady was pregnant. She was just upset that we were there before the kids went to school, which is understandable.
Yeah, I think I've got everything.
But as much as I empathise with those people, we're here for a reason, and they're going straight down to the council, and the council will look after them.
Steve's next job isn't as tricky. He's heading off to Oxford to chase up another substantial company debt. He's after the owner of a perfume business who refuses to pay one of his suppliers.
In regards to a writ that was issued against the company, just here to collect the remaining balance, which is £1,070 and 2p. Do you want to do the payment here now?
No.
You don't?
No, I'll pay you when I'm ready.
But it doesn't work like that, I'm afraid.
Well, it does.
I'm afraid it doesn't. I'm not going to be leaving here without the payment or goods. So...
Can you forcibly break it?
Yes, I can.
Can you?
Yes, I do have the power to do that, yeah.
It really is. It's so medieval.
Don't want to go down that line, sir, but it's up to you.
With the man being so defiant, Steve's not sure if he's going to get the money.
Okay, sir.
Oh, I dropped it. When you finish with it, stick it through the door.
Yes, sir. I'll leave you a receipt as well.
The debt may have been settled, but the man isn't quite finished.
What I'm so angry about is that you come here and embarrass me and fuck me up.
How have I embarrassed you?
Oh, don't be so fucking stupid. Fuck off.
Mind your door. Nice gentleman. It's pure arrogance that he believes he's above the law and he doesn't have to pay, and by looking down and speaking to me in the manner he does, he's still portraying this arrogance that he's better than everyone else, and why should he have to pay the debt? That is now resolved. Move on to the next one.
Back on the South Downs, the travellers have moved on. They're now camped illegally in the car park of a local sports club.
At the moment down there, there's about 15 caravans with all their vehicles and other materials they have, dog kennels, solar dishes down there. I've got no objections to the way they want to live, but to show no respect to the way that we want to live, I don't think is right. They have no consideration for anyone else apart from themselves. If I broke into a secure car park, I would be kicked out straight away. I do get very frustrated, I do get very angry that nothing's done immediately to get rid of them.
The sports centre make a complaint about the travellers illegally occupying the car park. So once again, the enforcers are called in. This time, it's Steve and John's turn.
Every fortnight, without fail, move them from one site to another. Moved them last week, moved them again. How you been, all right?
You know today's the day?
Yeah, today's the day. We'll sort it out. It'll get sorted out somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right then. All right, speak to you in a bit. I wouldn't be best pleased if that was me, to wake up and have 20 caravans. And the noise that goes with it in the evenings.
The last thing we want to do is live somewhere right in everyone's way and causing, you know, an eyesore. We quite often find sites that are well out of the way, but get evicted just the same, so we end up places like this.
This is the playing field. Kids come here to play football. It's covered in dog feces all around here. All the rubbish that's all been dumped here, that's going to have to be cleaned up.
The travellers pack up and prepare to leave. For Steve, this is one job at least that looks like everything's going according to plan.
Hello, Scott. It's Jackie from the office. Just thought I'd give you an update on that eviction.
We've got a derelict pub where there's been one guy who's refusing to leave.
Scott's on his way to one of those jobs that every enforcer dreads. One that he's been told could have a potential for violence.
He's armed himself with weapons, a piece of wood and maybe a knife as well.
The man has been squatting in a pub for nearly 2 months. He has several convictions for drug offences. Scott and John are waiting for police to provide backup while they carry out the eviction.
Getting in the building might not be that easy. He has barricaded it like he is claimed to have done. So it might be a slow process of getting through barricades. It could go completely differently. It could be literally he's there waiting for us and he just literally walks out and he hasn't got any problem at all and he's polite and friendly and all this is for nothing. As I say, we'll find out in a few minutes.
Hello, David. Hello there. High Court Enforcement Officer. I've got a High Court writ of possession. Gives me the power to come in through the door and to ask you to leave.
Do not come in here. Please! I'm telling you now, please do not come in here. Fuck off!
I've got a taser here, all right?
This is illegal, mate, okay? You're not going to do this. You can keep coming for ages, and then when you come here, I tell you, I ain't going to stop.
The front door offers little resistance, but there is no telling what lies on the other side. High Court enforcement officers are breaking into a pub to evict a man who's been living there illegally for 2 months. The pub has been blocked at every turn, and it's clear the man has no intention of coming quietly.
Fuck off!
Through this one now.
David, we're coming up. David.
Taser-armed officers follow the enforcers in. They're on standby to take over if necessary.
David, we want to be able to do this in a calm, organised way, David. David. Come on! David. Fuck off! David. Fuck off! David, I'm a taser-armed officer. You need to put that down. You need to put it down.
Tell me relax.
Okay, tell you what, I'll put the taser down. You put the pool cue down.
Why? For you to fucking handcuff me?
Well, we're going to need to talk about it one way or another,
No, you're
mate.
going to handcuff me, okay?
We need to talk about it.
No!
Okay.
No! Keep away from me, buddy, okay? Stop being threatening. If you're here to talk, you don't need to smash the door down, buddy.
Right. Can I talk to you then?
Talk away, mate.
Right.
But you ain't taking me out that door, buddy. Do you understand?
David, I need to ask for your cooperation.
No! You're gonna fucking kill me, dude!
I'm not gonna kill you.
Yes, you will fucking kill me. My heart's already racing 200 beats. Please, please!
Have a weapon!
No!
Weapon!
No! Go, God! Fucking hell! I'm gonna go!
Put the weapon down! Cooperate, now!
Fuck off!
Put it down!
Fuck off!
We can stop all this, put that down, and then we can help you.
Put the weapon down!
Fuck off!
Put the weapon down!
Fuck!
Take the Get out!
I can't move!
Put it down. Get out on the floor! Chill out. Right, I'm just going to release these, all right?
All right, calm yourself down. You're safe. Just keep breathing, right? Okay, you're going to be looked after.
Well, what about fucking all my clothes? For fuck's sake, how am I going to get back in the building?
Let's see you right.
Now that David is under arrest, Scott is able to reclaim the property for the rightful owner.
I don't give a shit if you fucking drop me, fucker! Drop me down the stairs, fucker! Go on!
Very, very rare. It's the first time I've seen it in nearly 12 years of doing this.
Hey, is this the medical help, buddy? Is this going to hospital, is it? Hey? Is this how to cure me, is it, mate? Hey?
Some people might think that this is hard and it's like quite an awkward and nasty job to do, but you know, I've done it for quite a long time now, and to me, it's no different to going to work each day and stacking shelves or driving a taxi. It's just a job to me, you know, and there's a lot more dangerous and a lot more stressful jobs out there than what this is.
Who's got the van, mate?
Back at the travellers' eviction, Steve has hit a problem. Not all of the owners of the caravans are on site. Steve knows that if he attempts to move the homes without permission, there will be an almighty row. He phones the council for instructions.
Got a couple of vans. There's no one here for them.
His orders are clear. Everything has to be shifted by noon.
So we'll take those to the pound, yeah? Yeah, this one here. And that brown one here. There's no one here to claim ownership of them. They'll be given a week to claim ownership. If not, they'll be scrapped. There's no goods inside it which are of any value to us. To them, maybe of sentimental value. There's only more we can do. We've had instructions from the council. They're the client. They want to move. The site's got to be cleared.
With the weather against him, Steve's chances of meeting the deadline look increasingly remote.
The wheel's fucked.
I'll leave it there, I'll do it with the truck.
Yeah.
To make matters worse, one of the travellers turns up to find his caravan being towed away.
If you would ask me, I would have told you.
We didn't ask you because you keep gobbing off at everyone.
Yeah, because you fucking are taking the piss.
How can anybody talk to him like that?
You're just as much of the problem as the council are, as long as you carry on doing everything that your bum-licking lackeys tell you to.
Listen to us.
Because it's illegal. You know it's illegal.
No.
You know that this is the last fascist state. This is the last bit of racism that's illegal in this country. Why should I fucking listen to you? Why the hell should I? I've been listening to you people forever and ever and ever. For 30 years, my people have been chased around and harassed by people in Dayglow.
Calm yourself down.
Piss off. Calm yourself down.
Calm yourself
Piss
down.
off
Can't
my
talk
side.
to you while you're not outside.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to talk to me.
Well,
I'm haranguing you stupid
I won't
prick.
talk to you.
If you won't get that bit, yeah? Because this is fascism. Because you people are doing this job. You shouldn't be able to bloody sleep at night. You got family. You imagine seeing them all being made homeless, yeah? I've been doing this for 30 years. I get moved onto a new site every 7 days. You tell me how many sites there are in the fucking UK.
Are you going to be moving this? Otherwise, we'll be hooking it up.
Uh-huh.
Simple as that. I'm asking you a civil question in a civil tone.
Yeah, no, I don't have to answer. You've just made
I've asked you.
my people homeless,
are you moving it or not? Are you moving it or not? Simple question. Not a problem. When the truck comes, we'll remove it ourselves.
It's about brute force, and you know it's because you're bullies.
Not bullies.
It's because you're bullies. You won't let this remain here. You will bully it out of it.
For Steve and John, the abuse is all in a day's work.
You never used to think you were born to be a mug and a mum.
Foul language is part of it. It's a lot of hot air. People are upset, heat of the moment, they generally say things that they didn't actually mean. And it's water for ducks back, really.
Despite all the shouting, the outcome is always the same.
We're going to be seeing you next week, probably the week after and the week after that. So it's pointless falling out, isn't it? All the best. Cheers.
Well done. Taxpayers paying week in, week out throughout the country for enforcement officers to move travellers on, and there's never going to be a solution for it. No one wants them on their land. All we can actually do is turn up when we're requested and move them onto another site.
It's taken 6 long hours to clear the car park. But for the enforcers, there's always another job waiting.
We are keeping on top of it. That's all we can actually do. Effectively, I'm here today to collect the payment in full or seize the vehicle. With domestic evictions and debts, we're collecting money for individuals. We're not stopping the amount of debt that's being built up throughout the country.
At 9 o'clock, you're going out the premises, so...
I've got a writ here to seize goods and remove goods.
The debt's obviously escalated. But it's never going to stop. Debt's always going to be there. And that's effectively what our job is. Try and keep a lid on it as best we possibly can.
Got a High Court writ of possession. No, don't shut the door, mate.